Institute's 16th annual Heroes in the Struggle Awards.
Look at the people being recognized. One of them, Jesse's Empire co-star Taraji P. Henson, is on the list of honorees. Speaking of Empire, season 4 premieres in a couple of weeks.
We're family. We stick together. Why you think they call us lions? That man is everything to me and my boys.
Cookie ruined my life's work, and I intend to see her suffer by destroying each of her offspring.
Guess the big bad folks upstairs wasn't ready for me to check out yet.
We get knocked down, we get back up.
Jussie, Phil, good morning, both of you. Good to see you.
Oh, what's going to happen this season?
A lot of craziness. It's so crazy. It all gets cracked open in the first episode. I really genuinely don't know how much I can say because there's a lot of surprises that I'm shocked have.
Can you catch us up at least? Like, sort of, where does everything stand on Empire?
Lucius and Cookie realized again how much in love they are. Lucius all of a sudden became this father, this wonderful person. Something clicked in him, and then right when that happens, of course, in true Lion Empire fashion, everything was perfect, and then it was too perfect, so y'all should have known that something bad was going to happen, and he got blown up. So, you know, we're here.
What's happening with Jamal?
What's happening with Jamal? Jamal's kind of being manipulated in a major way by this guy who he thinks is. He's finally thinking that he found the love of his life. And here's this dude, and he's really a Dubois. Remember the Dubois? Felicia Rashad and Tay Diggs? So it's interesting. It's kind of sad to watch him, the first part of this season, kind of being taken advantage of, and he has no idea. And all you want to do is just shake him and be like, bruh, please. He's not a good dude, but you know, Jamal thinks with his heart.
So every week we're gonna tune in and be like, what's happening now?
You're gonna be like, Jamal's still in love.
Oh, love is a painful thing.
Yeah, it's a painful thing.
How close is Jamal to you?
Not as much anymore. In the beginning, I think that we were very much alike. I think that, but I think that still at this point, we still share the same heart. We still share the same idea and sense of loyalty. And
a vulnerable sweetness.
Definitely a vulnerability that I am okay with having.
You'd rather have it than not.
Yeah, I'd rather be a sweet guy than a jerk any day.
Phil, let's bring you in, because here you've been so patient listening to us talk about Empire, but what a special thing you guys are doing. And you've done this work, and again, it is the Black AIDS Institute, specifically because the message is very important in the Black community.
Absolutely. We say at the Black AIDS Institute, the message matters, the messenger matters more, you know, and we know that when you deal with these kinds of issues in all communities, but particularly in Black communities, unless we are explicitly included, we are implicitly excluded. And so the work that we're trying to do is to make sure that as we make tremendous strides in ending the AIDS epidemic, that we're clear we're not there yet.
Hey, you've been working this beat for a long time, and you were a lonely voice back in the early 80s. You, as a young man, how old were you? 15 years old when you ran into this guy?
Yeah.
What happened there?
I don't know. I mean, I just saw Phil give this incredible speech. It was the first time that I met Hydea Broadbent, who truly has become, you know, like our baby cousin. This is exactly what she is, and she's become Journey, my little sister's best friend. And Journey was actually, it was the Heroes in the Struggle years ago. Probably
the first one.
Was it the first one?
It was the first one.
It was the first one. And my little sister Journey gave Hydea Broadbent an award. And I was 15 and I was watching Phil, and he gave this speech, and he basically said, for anybody that is thriving and surviving HIV/AIDS, stand up. So a few people stood up, and then he said, for anybody that knows someone and loves someone that's dealing with it, stand up. And so more people stood up, and then he said, somebody that's ever met someone, that everybody stand up. And at that point, mostly everybody was standing up. And then he said, I'm Phil Wilson, I'm HIV positive. You met me. Now everybody stand up.
Oh,
and it was
come
such a
on.
moment. It was such a moment. Like, it still gives me chills when I talk about it.
And you said it was like going to church.
It was like going to church.
Yes,
but with such heart, and it was such non-judgmental, and it was all welcoming and so open. And from that moment on, he just became one of my greatest mentors still to this day.
What is the toughest part of the battle? Because you've been fighting it a long time.
I think right now the toughest part is that we're so close and yet so far. And there's such an easy chance that we'll go back. You know, we're not getting the kind of support in Washington, D.C. that we used to. people think the AIDS epidemic is over, so we're not getting as much public support. And we're seeing actually, not the advances that we should be seeing, particularly among young people, among people of color, et cetera.
Well, a lot of that is behavior, so how do you address that?
Well, I think you do it a lot through education, awareness, and training. And so one of the reasons why events like this are important is, in addition to trying to raise the resources to do the work, but we also have an opportunity to teach people and to raise awareness and to let people know that there's something that they can do about this issue.
I also think that it's important because we live in a world right now, for some time, and we live particularly in a country, there's so much to care about, you know what I'm saying? There's so many issues to attack and want to make a change. I say we just have to multitask because no issue is more important than the other. We have to prioritize and we have to make sure that we're there. And it's not the sexiest thing to talk about anymore, but at the same time, it's still happening.
Well,
we're not done.
You make it sexy.
You know?
Because it's
You
not,
make it sexy. Don't you worry.
It's not the sexiest thing. That's why you have to hit it.
That's right, that's right.
You've got to grab the attention because you're not getting it.
That's right.
Okay.
Beautiful spirits. Thanks, guys.
Jussie, as
Really
always,
good.
good to see you.
Thank you. As
Really
always,
good.
appreciate y'all.
Real pleasure
Yes.
to meet you.
And you can
Yes,
get tickets
so
at
good.
heroesinthestruggle.org. It's still available. We'll be there on Saturday at Fox Studios. It'll be great.
And these ladies make it sexy,
They
too.
make it pretty spectacular.
Don't they? Beautiful. All right. Season 4 of Empire premieres September 27th. Jussie, that's the time.
Yeah,
Lead
we
time.
moved to 8. 8,
Yeah.
8, 7, 6.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, we
Right
made some
here.
stars.
Still to
Fox.
come. Look out. Ross, where are you?
Ross.
Ross is coming in. Jeff Stoltz.
You bored him to sleep, Ross. You bored him to sleep.
Jeff.
Space.
I don't know.